Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for joining in. Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining, guys. Welcome. We're just gonna wait for a few more people to join. Hello. Hi. Hi from on Facebook as well. Welcome. Hi, Instagram friends. Thank you. Welcome. We're just gonna wait for me few more people to join. Hi. I'm looking forward to today's. You're welcome. Looking forward to today's discussion. I'm gonna talk about importance of good habits and manners. You know how we can teach that to our children at a very early age. So I'm gonna have some few points that we can talk about. But do join in, ask questions as we go along if you have any questions. Um, Definitely, I'll wait for some more people to join in. But thanks for coming in today. Hope you're enjoying the weather. It's really nice and sunny outside. So thanks for joining me today. Thanks for joining. Okay, I'm gonna give it one more minute and then we're gonna start. That's cool. Thanks for joining. So, just a few more seconds to go. Just gonna get some more people to join in from Facebook as well, and then we can start. So welcome today to my Ask Didi session, and today we're going to be talking about importance of teaching our children good manners, and also teaching them how to good habits as well, which is very keen when it comes to parenting our children, and as parents we acting as good role models as well, because if you look at it, whatever we are, the way our behaviors are and our habits or even our manners, those are the kind of things that our children will pick up from as well. So if we want to raise good children for the society, they always say charity begins at home, so we can start role modeling good behavior and manners at home as well. So I'm gonna kick off. I've got a few tips. Like I'm just gonna say like tips or points that we can talk about. First one I'm going to talk about is politeness. So if we want our children to be polite, it'll be best to just behave in such a way that we kind of role model what politeness is. What politeness is. What politeness is. So the more we teach them how to be polite, we role model that when we go out to the shops, for example, being nice to people. When it comes to young kids, if you're offering them something, saying please and thank you is the key. When they offer you something, tell them thank you. When you offer them something, expect them to say please and thank you. If we're doing that a lot at home, when they go out, that will be a good way for them to learn how to be polite. So one of the ways, definitely teaching our children good manners is starting from politeness, teaching them please, thank you, for whatever they need to do at home, and then that will role model that when they go out as well. And I think, like I said, it starts from us as the parents and as adults, so we role model the behavior. Another point that is really key, patience. Like when you've got the terrible twos, if you've got a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, patience is really hard. They don't know how they want something, they want it now. And I think even ourselves as parents, sometimes it's hard to be patient and wait your turn, but it's something that we need to teach them at a very early age as well. Hi, welcome guys, thanks for joining in. We're talking about the importance of good manners and habits. It's important to teach our children at a very early age the importance of good manners. So thanks for joining in. That's what we're talking about today. I mentioned politeness, teaching our children, how to say please and thank you. That's a good starting point. We start that from home, and then we can thank you. They can definitely learn, it can be part of them, and they can do that when they go outside. And now being patient, it's another thing I talked about. So we, letting them know that it's not, you can't get everything when they want it. Wait your turn. There's a new challenge going on right now, which I love. I think is really interesting to see that kids do listen. When the challenge is about, you put a sweet or a candy in front of the children, and you tell them not to touch it, and you walk away and leave them for a few seconds and come back, and most children will actually wait. I think when I've seen some videos, I've seen the parents are actually like, oh, I can't believe they listened. But the thing with kids is that what you teach them is what they learn. So if you kind of constantly tell them, don't do that, you can do it this way, they will listen. But if then I think that brings up to boundaries. So if you're setting boundaries in your home, hello, welcome Facebook friends. If you're setting boundaries and things in the house, that will really help them when it comes to doing anything that they have to do. So that challenge is really interesting. So if you've got any toddlers, I think you should try and test them to see if your skills, if they will listen to you. I think you just put a candy in front of them and tell them not to touch it, and you video them and walk away and come back. But that's a good way of teaching them to be patient as well. Wait your turn, and when you're good, there's a reward that comes with that as well. Another thing is spending wisely. When it comes to spending wisely, in terms of, how we manage our budgets, a lot of the times we go shopping, we go out, the kids, they see us spend, and they see us use money, our cards, and from an early age, it's good to actually teach them, what, these are necessities, we need to buy these things, and maybe we don't need to buy these things. Because some children, a lot of parents will go out, if a child wants a toy, you get a toy. But you have to kind of know, okay, maybe we can't explain to them in a way they can understand, but let them know that you can't just spend unnecessarily. So if they have 5 toys already, if it's not time to go and get extra toys, and they only use the toys, I bet you from when you get them, buy the toy in the shop, they use the toy, and then the next day they don't remember the toy. But you would have spent £15 or £20 that would have gone for something more important. So when you're spending, do it in a very wisely manner. Like it comes to role modeling, your children are copying what you're doing. So kind of give them explanation. Oh, today we're not going to buy that toy today because it's not part of the budget. This is the money we're going to buy. We're just going to buy food. Like I said, children are very quick to understand very easily. The more you talk to them, the quicker they are to understand. Another thing that you can start really early is teaching them how to love. Teach them about love, kindness, and respect. Hello guys, thanks for joining in. Thanks. Teaching them about love, kindness, and respect. That starts from home as well. You being kind yourself. Role modeling what kindness is. You see, the kids will be very quick to pick that. I got a little nephew. He's very loving. He's very caring. He's only 2. But he's constantly, if you've hurt, you're like, oh, you hurt, because he sees that, mom's always checking on him, so he's picked that up as well. And one thing that we need to make sure our kids have is empathy. Because when they have empathy from a very young age, connection. I think I'm back. My Instagram keeps going off, but I think I'm back on. Oh, can you hear me, guys, on Instagram? Hi guys on Facebook. I think it's my connection went off, but I think I'm back on now, so I'm going to carry on talking. So yes, I was just talking about for people joining me, we're talking about the importance of manners, good manners, and also teaching good habits to our children from a very early age. We're talking about when they're 1, when they're 2. We don't wait until they're 6 or 5. We need to start teaching them very early. So I was just talking about kindness and showing them what love is. If we're showing them, giving lots of hugs. I know it's COVID-19 season, and we're not meant to give hugs, but I think in our household, in the home, we can give hugs. So we can still give as much hugs to our children. Talk to them about what being kind is. Talk to them about how once you're nice to someone, it goes a long way. And respect as well. So showing love, kindness, and respect, it starts from home. And they see you, when they see you act in a respectful way, that's going to be their norm. So when they do go out, they'll be like, okay, it goes back to saying, please, thank you, excuse me, can I have this? It all starts from the way we behave. So if they're seeing us behaving in that way, they'll be very, very quick to start behaving and pick that up at a very, very, very early age as well. Hi, thanks for joining in. Another point is, accepting their failures, and mistakes. I think we as adults, we make mistakes as well. So you can imagine it's bad for our children to make mistakes, but to be able to teach our children that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail at the first time, but you can teach them not to give up as well. So it's okay to make a mistake, but you can carry on. So I think that's a good way of teaching them good habits, and I think that's really really key, because like I said, I've got two kids. And I go out running a lot. My daughter will go running with me sometimes with a scooter, but recently she wanted to try skateboarding. She wanted to go on a skateboard, and she didn't really know how to do it, so she went on YouTube to learn how to skateboard. And the first time she couldn't do it really well, and she's like, oh, I don't want to go out today with my skateboard. But I kept on saying to her, no, don't worry, keep trying, you're not going to be perfect. Rome wasn't built in a day. Keep trying. But it's been a week now, and oh my goodness, the girl is so good on her skateboard. So today I was watching her as I was running, and she saw in front of me, going really well. Hi, thanks for joining. Skateboarding really well. And I was like, well done. So I said to her that, imagine if you'd given up after the first few days. Sometimes it doesn't work out well. You make a mistake, that's fine, but it doesn't mean that you have to give up. So, and I think if we teach the children right from an early age, for an example, when they're building a puzzle and they can't put the figures right, as parents, we just need to encourage them. Oh yeah, you can do it, you're almost there, and that will kind of stick with them as well. So, when they're out and about, if they can't do something, yes, I'm going to try again. And having that I can do it and try an attitude is the best thing we can offer our children as well, and keep encouraging them, and then we as well, let them see that we make mistakes, we being able to say, I can't do that, but I'm gonna try again. I think that's really really key as well. So when it comes to role modeling, thank you guys, it's good to do that. Then another thing that it's key that we need to kind of show to our children is about being healthy. Healthy lifestyle, it starts from us. If they see us, eating healthy, we're talking to them about 5 a day, we're talking about, exercising, they see us doing that at home, they'll be like, Mommy, I want to do what you're doing. I want to do that as well. So we need, like I said, everything starts from us as the parents. So once we start showing good behaviors and good manners, then our kids can pick that up really, really well. So it's something about food, talk about, why we need to have our 5 a day, why we need to have our exercise, even being clean. Why do we need to wash our hands? We need to wash our hands regularly. So with everything going on right now, the more the kids are seeing us washing our hands, they're going to start doing it as well. And imagine if we're training our 2-year-olds and our 1-year-olds about all this, good manners and good behavior at this age. Imagine when they grow up to their 20s and 40s, then they're definitely going to be glued in. That's going to be their norm. So as parents, definitely talking about healthy food, about why we exercise, and then we doing it ourselves. We going out there, they see us exercising, and then they want to do it. And another thing, again, there's something that I read recently about happy mom and happy children. And the best way for us to do happy mom and happy children is interacting with the children, having conversation. I read recently that as much as children like playing with their PlayStations or the PS4, the games, the most important thing is that interacting with them is key. That's where they get the most happiness. The fact that mommy can sit and talk to them, that's their most happiness. So when they're playing their PS4, they can be there for hours, and you might, they're actually enjoying themselves. But research has shown that no, they're not happy. They're the happiest when they actually have a conversation with their parents. Those little conversations, just kicking the ball in the house together, doing anything, playing a board game together. Those are the most happiest, and they kind of treasure those moments. So whatever we're doing as role models, we engaging the children, not just leaving them by themselves, really really help. It helps in a very very long way, and I think it's something that we need to kind of key in. And with that, we're building lovely children in the house, so that when they go out there, they're ready to kind of engage with the society. Hi, thanks guys for joining in. So that's another thing, definitely. Staying fit, staying active, we doing those things for them so they can really observe us. There's so much that the kids, they pick up. They say kids are like sponges. When you put them in water, they just soak up a lot of things. So if we want our kids to come out really good manners and good behavior and form good habits, we need to just kind of soak them in the good things. So for those just joining in, thank you for joining in. But I was just talking about the importance of good manners and good habits for children, and teaching our children at a very very early age. I talked about politeness, how it's important to carry on talk to our children about being polite, and we have to be examples. So as parents, we have to be role models. So teaching them about saying please and thank yous, and we as well, when they do something for us, we're telling them thank you as well. That's one. Then I talked about being patient and telling the children, wait your turn, and we as adults ourselves, role modeling that kind of behavior will help. I talked about spending wisely as well. So we let the children know it's not every time you cry for a toy that you get it. You wait, and there's a reason why you get it. Hi, thanks for joining, guys. To teaching them how to spend wisely is really important. Then I also talked about the importance of teaching our children to be about love, kindness, and respect. Once they can respect us at home, when they go out, is going to be part of their normal lifestyle. So definitely really important to do that. And then I talked about accepting failure and mistakes. So we as adults, we need to kind of role model the fact that sometimes we don't get things right the first time, but we can't give up. We can keep trying, and once we keep trying, we'll get there. So it might take a long while to get there, but that's fine. So we have been able to accept that we do make mistakes. Our children can learn from that as well, and the way we handle it, the way we handle our mistakes will help the children, learn and grow from that. And then finally, I talked about healthy lifestyle, living a healthy lifestyle, what we eat, staying active, doing exercise, all that. If we start that from a very early age, like I talked about 5 a day, telling the children about the importance of their fruits and vegetables, and then also washing our hands as well, just the importance of how we have to wash our hands every time, just to keep clean. And, when they do go out, then they're already, that's part of their normal. So those are kind of things I talked about today. If you have any questions, we've got a few more minutes to go, got another 10 minutes to go, do pop it in. But yeah, so those are the things we've been talking about, how the importance of, of good behavior and good manners for our children. It really goes a long way. And like I said, charity begins at home. So once we start to do those examples for them, they can pick that from that as well. And also I said about interacting with the children, the happy, if you want a happy child, you have a happy mother. So we being happy in ourselves and engaging with the children, talking with the children, doing little activities with them will go a long way to build their moral as well. Being able to say, oh yes, I did this with my mom, that confidence that they have. The time we have right now to spend with our children at home, I think is a blessing, because we can learn a lot more about our children. The 6 hours or 7 hours they've spent in school, they are with us. So this is time when we are our own principals. You're not letting the school train them now. You want to train them the way you want to go, which is going to be the best. So you can't say, oh, because he went to school, that's why he's talking back at me. But no, you can actually build in them what you want them to be, how you want them to talk. And that's the best thing you can give to your children, and to let your legacy go as a family, because every family will have their routines and their structure. So for you to be, this time we've got now is a time where we can actually teach our children what our routines and what our beliefs are in this season. So it's really, really key that, we start from a very early age to talk about good manners, say your thank you, respect. And like I said, we as adults, we need to kind of show that, we have to be respectful as well. When we do go out, if we go out to the shops, we're lining up in the queue, we wait there patiently for our turn, we don't start pushing through. The kids can learn from that. My kids are so good. Sometimes I have to just kind of be like, put my face down, because I'll be like, oh, the queue's too long, let's go this way, and maybe that way is shorter. And they're like, Mommy, let's just stand here. And I'm like, oh God, no problem, I'll stand here then. But because I want to kind of show a good role model, I just kind of wait, because I think if I put my hands up, I'm not a very patient person. But I think I'm learning every day. As I go along, and I try, because I think because of the kids as well, I have to kind of model the way I want them to be. So that will involve that. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for joining in. So definitely, yes. So that's it today. Good manners. Next week we're still in the lockdown. Even though it's easing up gradually, I'll be talking about another topic. I think what I'll do, talk about the children. Like today was about the children, and I'll probably talk about something more about the parents, the adults next week. You as a parent, and then we'll kind of go around each week like that. Switch it around, the child and the mother, the child and the mother, or the parents, not just the mother. We're talking about mothers and fathers. And then we do that until the lockdown is over. Then I can start to do maybe once a month. We can have a regular once a month Instagram live and Facebook live with questions. But I've really enjoyed, I really enjoyed the topic today, because I think when I go out and see a lot of children, some children, I'm like, their behavior, and I'm like, oh my goodness, where are they coming from? But like I said, it starts from the house. So if we know the basic principles, we're teaching our children. When you see those, when they go out, you'll be very, very proud, very, very proud about what they've achieved and what they've become. I think it's the best feeling when you see your kids. I give an example. When I travel with my kids, bless them, but they're really well behaved. I think right from an early age, I always every time we traveled, I used to kind of make them get magazines, and so they could do drawings. So if it was a long flight, a 6-hour flight, we get the paper drawings, and they used to draw. And then when they grow older, we start reading books together. So I'll say to them that, okay, everyone's got their book. Who can finish their book first, and then we can talk about it. But that just got them so used to it. When my son was 9, and I think I got to a point where, okay, you don't have to get books anymore. You can get whatever you want to do. You can watch a movie, but they were still getting books, So this is like what they were doing when they were 2, but that become their norm. So every time we go on holiday now, when we're at the airport waiting for our flight, they're rushing to get, okay, what book am I going to read? And now, I'm going to get this book, and then who's going to finish a book first, So definitely, whatever we're doing, we're building a lot of things for the children. So I can imagine my son, when he's an adult, I bet he'll be getting a book when he goes on the flight as well, because he's used to doing that. He's used to doing that already. But it's something that we need to encourage. What we want our children to do, we need to start doing it, and they will start doing it as well. And when they start doing it, when they go out there, you can become really good people in the society, and that's what we want to actually breed as parents. Hands up to parents that do take responsibility for their children, because a lot of parents will leave it for the system, and I don't think that's fair. They are our children. The fact that we live in a country where the government will support us is good, but we need to stand and take responsibility. So that's why we need to make sure that we're embedding our principles on them, showing them the way things should go. Don't give up, try again. And then the importance of education as well. The fact that, schools are closed right now, but no, that's fine. You can still do your homeschooling at home. You can still get them to learn a few things. You can get them to learn your language. Majority of us, we've got a language or something, or you can learn a different language as a family, But instead of just leaving them to play their games, you can say, okay, you know what? In this lockdown, let's learn how to speak French. Everyone's going to learn how to speak French in the house. They they do it in school. In most schools, they will learn French or German. So we can say, let's do that at home. So then you can all do it together, and those are experiences that the children will not forget. They will not. It's something that they will remember and they will cherish. So as parents, we need to just make sure we're putting things in place to make sure our kids are growing up the way we want them to go, and then we cannot turn back tomorrow and say, oh, society did this. No, we did it ourselves. So having that in mind, it's a good thing, and that's why I just wanted to touch on that today, on that topic, because it's really, really important to make sure we're raising future prime ministers and parliament members, or the future entrepreneurs, store owners, business owners, medical doctors. So, and I think principle is key. Good manners is key. Making sure that they have thank you, that's good. Making sure that they have the basic principles, basic manners, being nice to people, being respectful. I come from an African culture. I come from Nigeria, so respect is key. We have some cultures where you have to, if you see an adult, you need to lie down and greet them. Being able to, we don't have to lie down physically, but being able to show when you see an adult, you say hello, not just walk past them and not say anything as well. So it's really good that we, as examples, we show that. I remember another funny thing when my daughter was growing up, because in my house, we've got lots of, like, as a Nigerian family, we've got a lot of aunties that we're not really related, but because they're older, we call them aunties. So when my daughter started nursery, she was 2. all her nursery teachers used to call them auntie, 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 you know. And then they were like, why? My name is, my name is Vivian, man. But she was just so used to not calling names. It was auntie. And then they started calling her auntie. So instead of calling her name, they would call her auntie. So it was really funny. But that was what she was used to in the house. Every time someone older came, it was auntie. So she couldn't just kind of call them by their names. But she got older now. She knows to call them by their names, which is, school is different. But it's just something that she'd learned from home. And like I said, once you're teaching the children from an early age, they can learn a lot. And that will go a long way. Well, thank you. It's key from where we go. Yes, really true, really true, really true. We're running out of time. We're almost there. So I'll just say thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. I'll be back again same time next week, Wednesday, 5 p.m. Like I said, I'm going to be talking more about parents then. Today was kind of what we could teach our children. I will talk more about parents next week. But do thank you. I want to thank those that have been sending me messages as well, just to ask their questions. Keep the questions coming in. Anything I can help, I'm here to support and just give us advice as much as we can during this season. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you for joining in, and I'll see you again next week. Thank you, my Instagram. Thank you, Facebook friends. Thank you so much for joining, guys.